Hello everyone, and welcome back to more TEW on more AEW on TEW 2020. And we're here in the first week of June for our show of Rampage. We start off with a bit of a weak match because both of them are unimportant. Queen Lupa defeats Mary Dobson with the Eclipse, and afterwards she asks for Mike. She's granted promo time, and she says, "Let the talk of the women's division is all about Paul Heyman's newest hire, the MMA fighter Paige Van Zandt." Now, it'd be wrong of me to discount your win against Layla Hirsch. She's a good competitor, and you did legitimately win, but she's not as experienced of a pro wrestler. And I mean, I've already had one monster dip out from challenging me, and I'm still not done with that quite yet. I had something that I wanted to do, and I'm more than willing to go toe-to-toe with you, Van Zandt. And so she kind of waits a few seconds. Paige Van Zandt's music hits. I don't know if she actually uses stuff in UFC for her music. She walks out, gets in the ring, face-to-face with Lupa. Lupa not intimidated at all. She's like, alright, sure, yeah, I accept the offer. So, yeah, eventually they will be getting into a fight. Queen Lupa versus Paige Van Zandt. I said that weird. Afterwards, Cody is being interviewed by Trish Stratus, who asks about what being the US champion means. And he says, there's just something different about being US champion compared to the TNT champion. Now, don't get me wrong. TNT title is something I am more than grateful that we had the opportunity to get. I'm glad for everyone over at TNT for allowing us to have that run of Dynamite on their programming, but to be able to represent the USA like this, to be able to do more than just that ground level thing, just that TV title, to be able to say that I am a US champion, it's something entirely different. I mean, my father had the American dream. He was the American dream, the son of a plumber, and now I can show that I've managed to succeed that very same thing for myself. I built AEW up from the ground. I built myself up from scratch. I helped make this company. I helped make the greatest wrestling promotion in the whole world, and I'm a champion here now. So, here's what I have to say to everyone who wants to challenge me. Griffin Slade, Wardlow, whoever is up there. I'm ready for you, any of you, anytime, anywhere. Because that's what I stand for. I stand for being fighting champion, because that's what we do. Cody kind of, being the... he's not arrogant. I forget the word. I definitely had a word for it. The oblivious heel, that's what it is. He thinks, big, hoorah, America. But being kind of a dick about it. After this, that is not what was meant to happen. That's supposed to be Ricochet defeats Scorpio Sky. I'll explain. So, Ricochet's about to, he's about to go further in the match. He's about to get something real big with, his somersault plancha over the top rope. Brody Lee slides into the ring. So, like, Ricochet, he runs to the other side of the ring, to bounce off the ropes, get some steam. Brody Lee just rushes past Scorpio Sky, slides into the ring. About halfway through, like, Brody Lee, he's barely gotten up. He puts his entire weight behind this lariat. He goes down to the ground as well with this lariat. And Ricochet turned inside out. The ref's like, that's really obvious. Ring the bell. Ricochet picks up the win by DQ. And then Brody just kind of stands over there. Scorpio Sky's a little bit confused. Antonio Banks gets into the ring. He's like, what the fuck? Why would you do this? Brody kind of stares at him for a little bit. Huge lariat to Banks. Banks takes a bump. He's down as well. Banks, he's retired from wrestling, but, like, obviously, if he's MVP, he's gonna be able to take bumps. He just kind of laughs. He leaves the two lying in the ring. It's like, you know what? I've made my mark here. So, obviously, Ricochet, fantastic at bumping. Just like completely turned inside out from this massive lariat from a real big, real strong guy in Brody. After this, we cut to a vignette of a yacht sailing across the sea. We eventually kind of zoom in. We see Kairi Hojo's piloting a boat. She is a big fan of yachting. And I'm just imagining this is kind of just a leisurely cruise. Just relax, just chilling. But then, it doesn't take too long. Huge noise made. There's a lot of yelling. There's broken items. Kairi's just like, what the hell is going on? Gets up to the deck of her ship. Maki Ito is fighting with a male passenger. She knocks him out with a headbutt, just massive headbutt. Guy crumples to the ground. Kairi's like, why? Why are you fighting with the other passengers? And Maki, I guess, got bored, and this guy insulted me. He said that I wasn't the cutest in the world. Kairi's like, okay, you know what, that's fair enough, but just, try not to do more fighting on my ship. Goes back. It's always difficult these first few weeks when I'm just starting stories up. Yes, that's part of it, just because I'm bad at the game. I don't really know how to book too well. I don't really know how to start stories off. First 2 weeks are, ratings-wise, they might look fine, but just creatively, they don't feel as fine. I'm good at the middle portion of things, but not so much the bookends. After this, Rami Sabay and Kevin Steen defeat the Wu 10 clan. Okay. They don't actually have chemistry together. Interesting. Steen still a little bit injured, but that's fine. The Young Bucks music begins to play out after the match, and both Matt and Nick come out to the ring, and they have the Mount Rushmore t-shirts. T-shirts. So, Young Bucks, Steen, and Adam Cole. They have mics, and they're like, so, Kev, you already know what this shirt is, right? I mean, it's pretty obvious. You were part of this. It's great that we have the whole band back together. We got us two, we got you, we got Adam Cole, but there's a bit of an issue, because Adam Cole's kind of turned into a crazy zombie lunatic, and that doesn't really fit our vibe, Anyways. We all know that despite our limited run, our limited exposure, Mount Rushmore was one of the best stables in pro wrestling history. One of the best that the world ever saw. And with all the bullshit going on around here, well, how's about you just ditch your generic friend there and help team up with us? Bring Mount Rushmore back together. We could even, if you insist, have Rami be the fourth member of Mount Rushmore. And Kevin's like, no, I'm fine. I just want... If I'm going to work with anyone, it's going to be Rami. So, yeah. It's fine. Bucks versus Rami and Kevin. I did kind of hope that Rami and Kevin would have chemistry, but they don't. At least they don't have bad chemistry, so I'll take it. After this, we cut to a vignette. It's dated the day after Double or Nothing. VIPs have bought out a hotel lobby in Las Vegas where they're hosting a party for everyone before they get on the road, leave for the next show of Dynamite. There's a bunch of people here, It's... Obviously, we'll get to the focus in a little bit for this, but, it's cameos from, everyone. There's tons of people here. Road agents, other wrestlers, referees. Maybe not too many main eventers, but a lot of undercard people are around here. MJF, notably, he's not visible at all. The rest of the VIPs are. Layla Hirsch, she gets into a confrontation with Tenel and Diana, and, it probably is started by the VIPs. Layla's trying to get some food, and Tenel and Diana just kind of joke oh, we don't give out food to losers, you lost. And then probably Daga overhears this. He gets up to them and is like, hey, guys, stop being an asshole, because you also lost. Your boss lost. And North get into an argument about that. Chris Bay gets into an argument. Of course, obviously, Daga immediately going after Chris Bay with this. Vignette ends. VIPs are like, you know what? We're not going to take this. Get out of our party. This is our time to shine. Leave. All of you get out of here. Most of the mid-carders are fine, but just the ones that directly confronted them, not so much. After this, Jacob Fatu defeats Jake Hager. And Devitt, who was at ringside, gets into the ring following the match. He calls out Jericho, who was not managing Hager. It's Chris Jericho, the immortal legend of the business. I'll be damned if I never said that you weren't one of the best wrestlers that's ever lived. One of the best that the business has ever seen, managing to stay strong after so many years. But there's something that's yet to happen. You fought many people over your years, but you haven't really proven the inner circle. We already saw Jake Hager lose here. He's lost so many times. You still haven't really proven that Sammy Guevara, Ace Austin, none of them have really shown what it's worth, what they are worth in AEW, and you've never proven yourself against the Prince Pro Wrestling, the original founder, one of the most legendary stables of all time, Fergal, Devitt, myself, in all of our years working against each other. Never have the fans at large been able to see Chris Jericho against myself, and I'm more than willing to let that happen, and I want to see if your inner circle is really all it's cracked up to be. I want to see Jacob Fatu going against all of your guys, because I know that Fatu is one of the futures of this business, and you can claim all that you want about the inner circle. You can claim that the inner circle are some of the best, brightest young prospects. Yes, Sammy Guevara was one of the pillars of AEW, but now you've just drifted by the wayside. I want to see all of them against the Prince himself. And I want to see you against the Prince. So yeah, after this, Trish Stratus is interviewing the #1 contender for the TBS title, Lavender Sky. And Lavender Sky says it's something I'm honored to be a part of. I had a match with Shida all the way back in December on Dynamite. And even in that little time since then, even in that only half year since then, I've grown up in the ring. I've gotten better. I've consistently working myself to the bone. I'm working my butt off in the gym in order to get better and better at pro wrestling. And I'm constantly looking for ways to really put myself out there, ways to show the world what I can really do. I mean, Shida's a champion now. She's been a champion before. She's proven who she is. She doesn't need much more credibility, and she can only add to her legacy here in AEW. But me? I'm just a girl from a small town in the middle of nowhere. I still remember every day, every single Monday, tuning in to watch AJ Mendez on my TV. Now, I get to be in the same company as her. And that's really why I fight. That's why I want to win this title, because I want to be someone that girls can look at when they are 10, 11 years old and think, I want to be like her. I want people to be able to tune in on Wednesdays, Fridays, whenever, or Wednesdays or Saturdays, sorry. Wednesdays, Saturdays, whenever, and say, Lavender Sky, I want to be like that. I want to inspire people like you've inspired people in the past. Like Shida's inspired people, like Kana's inspired people, like AJ's inspired people, like Ashley Flair has inspired people. And you know what? My legacy starts with winning that TBS title. It starts with being in the ring with someone like Hikaru Shida. It's a very babyface promo. Finally getting some... I know, it's only taken a year... Geez, almost 2 years of the save in order for me to finally build up my own unique characters, but it's what I'm doing. After this, Shotzi defeats Vipress. As she's making her way to the ramp, Utami comes out. She gets face-to-face with Shotzi. Shotzi's unfazed by the previous challenger for the women's title. Gets ready to keep heading backstage. Utami stops her, just grabs her on the shoulder, says, hey, watch your back at all times. Shotzi's like, okay. Keeps on going. Not happy with this. A lot of storylines that, again, as I said earlier in this episode, I am bad at starting storylines. God damn, that's supposed to be Tony Schiavone. Recap of Double or Nothing. Yes, that's our commercial break. As Brock Lesnar defeats Zack Sabre Jr. with a Kimura lock. They have great chemistry. Interesting. And after the match, rather than Brock's music playing, Jon Moxley's music plays. Not Wild Thing, the other one that he has. And he's in the crowd, he has a mic in his hand, and as he's saying this, he's going to be walking towards the ring. Because I'm surprised it took you this long to start booking your boy in main event gigs, Paul, but hey, I get it. People want to see Brock Lesnar beat the shit out of the whole world because he's the beast, because he's Brock Lesnar, because he's this former NCAA Division I champion. People have been clamoring that you have been the addition to AEW that's really moved the needle, that since you joined, AEW has gone from the number 2 to the number 1. But I say that's just a load of shit. All you've done is made AEW into a watered-down version of your sports entertainment, and we all know how much you hate sports entertainment. The same faces are in a different place with different names, and no matter what you do, pretend like it's all fine and dandy because it's got your stamp of approval on it. These people are the same people that they're seeing elsewhere in the same company, the same people, just with a different coat of paint, and you're saying that it's something brand new. Everyone out here saying that it's because of you that AEW is becoming the best, but you know what? AEW wasn't meant to be just this new version of total non-stop action. We're meant to be AEW. And I think it's time that I start getting on the crew. I start working towards bringing AEW back to what it's supposed to be. And that's a place where stars can really shine. Not just people who have been from other places coming in here. This is someone meant for the people who have been overlooked, the people who have built AEW up from the ground up. Paul Heyman, he says some things back. Brock Lesnar, probably by the time that he's probably already gotten in the ring by the time he has the sports entertainment line. And so he's face to face. Paul Heyman says some things, and Jon Moxley hits Brock Lesnar with a paradigm shift. He threatens to hit Heyman with a paradigm shift, but Heyman's quickly out of the ring. Show ends. Jon Moxley standing in the ring. He is, standing tall. He wants to take back a dub. But that will be all for Rampage. We'll move on to Dynamite and see how things will go from there.